No fancy start to the video. Oh, we had a guy come in to our room last night. So yeah, I wasn't doing any of the fancy stuff. This is the way you get in. You'll get what you're given.
City. And then there's also a sporting goods store called Big Five there. If you guys need to pick up anything like warm weather gear or cold weather gear, I would do so there, and I'll have some time set aside for that. The weather changes every time I look at it. But what I do know is that there's going to be some precipitation, mainly today. It's like a 90% chance. So we're just going to try to make the most of it. Tomorrow it changes, so like in the morning it's actually no chance of rain until like 11 o'clock, and then after 11 it changes between 30 to 60%. So there's a chance that we could score and have an amazing day tomorrow. Like I said, we're just gonna have to be flexible. But once we, after we're done food shopping at that place in Oakdale, we'll head up, do lunch somewhere along the way at a picnic area, and then we'll go down and hike into Tuolumne Grove, which is a grove of giant sequoias. It's like a 2.5 mile hike, so it should take us no more than 2 hours. There's a little bit of elevation gain and loss, but I'll talk about that when we get there. And then after that, we'll go into the valley. If we can see things, we'll stop at some viewpoints. If we can't see anything, we'll just head straight to camp and set up. Questions? Rock and roll. To get into a lot of almond groves. So they grow about 50% of the produce in the U.S. in this valley. It's 400 miles long, 80 miles wide. It's pretty big, huge section of California. But by far the most popular crop is almonds. And they actually produce 80% of the entire world's almond supply in this valley. Harvest time is typically in September. And I think I already kind of mentioned a little bit about the water wars and the kind of conflict that's going on, because each individual almond takes like about 4 liters of water over its life cycle. And you can imagine how many bajillion of almonds there are on these trees. It's a lot of water. And how they water them is actually by flooding these rows, just because they need so much.
We tried the chili explosion nuts. I don't know where to get them.
Oh my god. So many different Dr. Peppers. Rude. So rude.
Not what you'd expect to get from a fruit and veg stall. Second food shop of the trip. So me and Chris on dinner duty. We're making some fajitas. Just trying to pick up all the stuff now. And again, on a time limit. Just stressing me out. Don't like being rushed, but we're making do. Chili. I'm so confused. Nothing's where it's supposed to be. It's all different. Don't like it. Take me home. Your team sucks.
I feel like, yeah, I remember digging.
Came in for some warm weather gear. I'm going to be leaving without that. Got to pack in some heat. Yeah, boy.
Right, go right here to the ocean that much. Green. I do like the tap on the river, maybe. Maybe look at a river. Green and river could be the same. I'm not really.
Feels like I'm in GTA. Go and help out Cortez in his problems. Don't know why I've just got an empty clothes rack in the middle of the shop. Weird. Bin man duties again. We'll try not to take it personally.
Come here and let me love you. Come on. Please.
All the way. A lot of them were like gathered to make fences. You can see them all like stacked up there.
Yeah.
But if you can imagine, like, the Sierra Nevadas are mostly granite, and as the granite pushed up, it scooted a bunch of slate and other old rocks down into the Central Valley, and so that's what this is.
Yeah.
It's like the oldest rocks in the Sierra Nevadas, actually.
Okay.
Close to cities and stuff.
It's turning into real snow now.
Yeah, this is some
Getting
real
there.
So they would live in Yosemite Valley during the summer, and then they would go down into the foothills in the winter when it was like this. But they were a pretty war-like tribe. They liked to pick fights with people, and they didn't really like invaders. And so the Miwok tribe, which was the tribe that surrounded the Ahwahneechee, they nicknamed them Yosemite, which meant killers, because anytime they would try to go into Yosemite, the Ahwahneechee would attack. Ooh, it is rough. In the winter months, the ice gets in there and freezes and expands out those cracks, and then times like this they melt, and just that constant kind of pressure change causes these the rock slides to happen. So typically the time of year when rock slides occur is in the springtime, when all the snow melt is like pushing these cracks and pushing these blocks, forcing them out. And so yeah, the Merced River right here, this is probably double as, or twice as big as it is in the summertime. There's even some class 5 rapids downriver, which someone can correct me, but I think are the highest difficulty.
Yeah, so don't worry if you don't get it. Wow, you can't see El Cap. Should be right there.
Yeah. I don't know, 3 years maybe?
Yeah?
But it's really, really, really hard. Yeah. Even just like the climbing is hard, but the logistics of bringing all that stuff up there too. So typically what they do is they gather all the dead wood and make these piles, and then they burn the piles to make it easier. You can feel the heat from them.
Yeah.
Wow. What are these people doing? Standing there.
Keep 'em warm.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they're starting to down a little bit, yeah.
That's all of it. Yeah. And we're probably like a half mile away.
tent's a bit soggy. Hopefully that will dry itself out before I need to use it. Oh. Dinner squad.
Any oil by itself.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's not fully open yet. It's like a dragon egg.
Yeah.
There you go.
Use plates.
Eat out
If you
that,
roll
yeah.
it, if you roll it properly.
What's that cheese?
I guess it's cheese.
Sorry. I'm gonna intercept that. It's pouring down right now. It's gonna be miserable. Everyone's gonna sit in the sun so long.
Oh, jockey milk.
Well, it needs to stop.
Like you got to play the quad goal, you have to have game like 43. Not a lot.
Will we like putting our skewers together in the centre, like
Yeah,
sort of like
as long as that doesn't go in my eye.
The oven.
It's gonna die.
Yeah, the best to roast marshmallows is like right in there. Yeah.
The tarp's doing a great job.
Alright,
Well done, team.
I'll ravage this box.
More time. Oh yes, more time. Another day done. Just laying in bed now, sorted all my stuff out for tomorrow. Gonna tell you all about my day today. There was a guy last night who, I don't know what time he got in, it must have been past midnight. Some random guy, wanted me and Oscar were in. He climbed onto the top of my bunk. I woke up not knowing what was going on, just some random man in the room. So, oh yeah, I'm in hospital now, it's fine. That's why there wasn't a fancy intro this morning. Couldn't be bothered to do it all. Instead I reorganised my suitcase so I've got all of the stuff that I need easily accessible. So I'm super organised now for moving forward. We did our second food shop. Me and Chris, Group C, the best group, better than Group A and B. Yeah, you know me and Chris, Group C, and the place to be. Well, given the task of finding dinner to cook for tonight, we chose chicken fajitas, and we had to sort out breakfast as well. We bought loads of granola. We got the milk as well. Everyone seems to love the granola. I love the granola. Granola's good stuff, really good stuff. After the shopping, we went looking for some cold weather gear for some of the other guys because we weren't sure what the weather was doing down at Yosemite. So some of the guys, they needed to buy some sweaters and stuff, so they went to a little shop nearby where we went shopping. Didn't end up buying anything, but inside they had loads of guns and weaponry, which was quite cool to look at, just seeing it all up there, just ready to be bought by literally anyone. After that we stopped off for some lunch by a little riverside bit. There were some cats there, but I think they were feral because they wouldn't come near us. I think they were just scavenging for food. I wanted to feed them but wasn't allowed to, so I didn't. Made me sad. But after we had lunch, we went off on our way to Yosemite, and yeah, when we got here, the scenery just it just changed. It was just, I don't know if I'm making sense. I don't think I am, but yeah, it was the views are amazing. It's incredible. It's brilliant. Once we got to the camp, set all our tents up as usual. Me and Chris, we started cooking, got the fajitas going. They went down really well, everyone seemed to like those, and there was hardly any cleanup, So everyone's a winner. Happy days. We tried to make a campfire in the rain. Not the smartest thing to do, but we managed to get one going for a little while. Enough to get some s'mores on the go. Had a couple of those. Went really well. The marshmallows were huge. Got the Hershey's chocolate and the graham crackers. I'm pretty sure I've done like similar, but I think that's like the OG recipe for s'mores. That's the first time I've ever had it properly, and yeah, they were pretty good, really good. There's another TrekAmerica group here as well. I think they're doing just like a week little tour thing. We was going to go and have like a cornhole championship game with them, but I don't think we had anything to. I don't think we interacted with them too much. So yeah, I can hear them now. I think they're drinking or something. I don't know. Being interesting, I guess. And I'm in bed. Sounds about right. Yeah, Eric said we had to get all of the like smelly stuff like toothpaste, shower gel and everything out of our bags that we're keeping in our tents. We had to get those into little containers that I have here, but we've stuck them in the van because there's like animals that could come and get attracted to the smell and try and get into our tents. Apparently it's happened before, so I don't know if it's just like a horror story, but yeah, I'm not going to risk that. So all of my smelly stuff's in with the van. I don't want to wake up next to a skunk's arsehole and it sprays me. I do have some tips, however, for anyone who is thinking of doing something like this. I'm going to spin the camera around and I'll show you now. Get yourself a decent torch. When you're in the tent, and it's night time, this is what you're going to see. Nothing. And when you're trying to sort yourself out of a night time, and you're trying to get changed in your pyjamas, or you're trying to sort your sleeping bag out and you can't see anything, it's gonna suck. So make sure you get yourself a torch. Learned from my mistakes yesterday when I didn't hang anything up. Well, I don't know if that was yesterday. No, my mistakes from last time, and I've hung my trousers up down the side there. They're going to dry out, as well as my waterproof. And I've got my stuff for tomorrow. That's all over there as well. Yeah, I am super organised. Camper. Camp by name, camper by nature. That's me. So yeah, that's me. I'm done for the day. Probably going to do some editing. But yeah, as far as you're concerned, that's it. That's all you need to know. And I'm done for the day. Yeah, it's still a bit wet. I should have dried that off, but couldn't bother to get the towel out, to be honest. So I'm just going to go to bed with wet hair. See what happens. I'm sure I'll be fine. So with that, I will say this. Bye.